And there we are back to Barrier Blitz. Welcome back after the break. My name is Red Hair Jake. I am here with Sheepia and Soup, and we're watching J Ash getting into Bruno. This, of course, is Barrier Blitz, the event where 8 of the game's top speedrunners try to break through the barrier of 301 or maybe even the 3-hour mark in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Yellow. I'm actually kind of hoping for 259, but the stars will have to align.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
I would not bet on it for sure, but it would be crazy good.
No, we need someone to make a really good time first, and then they can just YOLO everything.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way to even consider at this point with the strategies that they're using to even have a remote chance of getting sub 3 hours. But hey, I mean, I can wish, right?
Yeah.
What did they say? Wish upon a star me?
Yeah. And of course, from our side, a big thank you to Jordan for organizing this and our previous commentators, May, Raybello, and Wartab.
Yeah. Some big shoes to fill. But I'm ready. I've brought my worst jokes and my puns, and you guys can shut me up when it's too much. And we might make a great team that way.
Yeah, sure. I have prepared some dad jokes as well.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Dad
I tried to prepare nicknames for the runners, but I ran out of nicknames. Unfortunately.
But how do you know if a joke is a dad joke?
Usually
it's
when it
apparent.
falls.
No, it's apparent.
Oh.
Very nice.
That will set the mood, right?
All right. Let's get back to the runs, guys.
Yeah.
All
so
right.
JS at Agatha. Let's see how this goes.
Yep. We have Kerbis after Brock heading into Mount Moon soon. And Cadenese is looking like he's in Victory Road right now. Looking to finish a run as well.
Yeah, I'm just getting used to this whole setup because it's.
It is a lot, yes. I'm kind of thankful for Jim Freak and Sane being AFK. And now Etiquette too.
Yeah, they're taking a break after their long run.
Yeah.
Well, we're getting kind of a nice, easy start with the 3 runners having finished their run, or I guess Saiyan really towards the end just got one of those annoying things where you really want to not take forever trying to do a certain skip and do it really safely, but then sometimes it just goes wrong, and then almost 3 hours into the run, you can, I mean, it takes a minute and a half to then actually beat that trainer. So I can totally see why you would then just surrender the run.
Yeah, the only shame for us is that we don't really have like a close race we can focus on. The runners are a bit more spread out right now.
Yeah, I guess I don't really have a great sense of how quickly Josh's time is. Is that on pace to beat the times that were set by Etiquette and Gym Freak?
I really don't know.
It's got to be close, right?
I think it's close.
Yeah. If we were looking at maybe 3 to 4 minutes on average per fight, it could be close.
It's interesting that all these my personal record was somewhere in the 307s, and these guys just like basically their first try they just pull out a 305. pretty crazy, right? Like not even, but this run was probably a run that Etiquette would have reset on stream at some point, right?
I actually think that JS's run is slightly faster than Etiquette. At least I'm looking at like the pace when they're both like starting this fight, and he's slightly ahead.
Cool.
Pretty good.
So we're gonna have a new.
I mean, there's still 2 very hard fights. So
yeah.
Anything can happen in these.
Yeah, and the real drama I think is gonna come tomorrow Right now, I think we're just getting the first times in.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. I'm just happy to see
It's
the
just-
fastest time being broken while I'm on air, right?
Yeah.
I had Josh had some very good luck. Oh, again, very good luck with 2 misses of the hydro pump. So he doesn't even have to heal, most likely. Oh, he is
Still
gonna
going
heal.
to.
He does anyway.
Oh, I'm not sure why. Maybe he's just being extremely safe.
I mean, I don't know how good his special attack is. You can miss like the range on the Dragonite.
Oh, I guess I figured it out. Well, it could be that, but it could also be that he thinks it's faster to just heal because the Seadra had to recharge next turn. So he probably just thinks it's faster to heal in battle than in the menu after the battle.
Oh yeah. And for the people not wanting to watch a champion fight, I want to direct your attention to the top left corner, where Achi is on Route 10 right now, heading into Rock Tunnel soon, which will be a crucial location to get a lot of catches.
I had no idea, by the way, because the previous commentators kept saying that Etchi is like the reset king. I had no idea about. I mean, I've watched his stream sometimes, but I had no idea he had that reputation. But of course, Rock Tunnel is kind of the last big hurdle where a whole lot of resets happen. So this is going to be kind
Yeah.
of do or die for him in terms of getting a run on the board, I suppose.
Etchi also like ran a lot of Fire Red Leaf Green where you do a lot of resets.
Oh right, yeah.
And in this run, he's like been very unlucky.
Yeah,
Like in his first run, he like on Route 1 he already had 3 catches, and then he ran into a second Pidgey. Like
Damn.
just but all 3 of them spawned below him. So
Yeah. I mean, on the one hand, you think that's extremely unlucky, but on the other hand, I mean, how much does that really cost? It's all those combined is like maybe half a minute, so it's not all that bad, right?
Yeah, Champion Fort starting at 301.35-ish.
Yeah.
He'll be
Well,
close.
I have some
Really
personal,
close.
I have some personal pet peeves about this specific Pidgeot because he just this bird kept critting me, and yeah, this bird is the very last harsh thing in the run that can absolutely mess you up.
you're not a Pokemon Let's Go speedrunner if you haven't died to critting the Pidgeot.
Yeah.
I was about to say, you almost jinxed that one. That looked scary.
Well, at some point I even looked up, because Slash has the increased crit rate, and then I actually had to look up, wait, does Air Slash also have the increased crit rate? Because it just kept happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, if he
Right.
doesn't misclick or anything, he's won.
Yeah, he's menuing great, and this is almost over.
Yeah. I mean, I've watched his stream quite a bit. He tends to, whenever he streams, I tend to catch the end as a European when I wake up in the morning. So sometimes I watch a little bit. And Josh does seem like someone who is very consistent with all the menuing and stuff, as far as I can tell. So it does not surprise me that even though I'm not sure he's been playing that much lately, but yeah.
I mean,
Just very solid.
He is the world record holder in Pikachu, so
Yeah.
Wow.
Also, he's playing a lot of Baton Pass, which, of course, will train your menuing quite well too.
Yeah, does that
I
train
guess.
it well? Because if that's just another thing to learn side by side, right? It might be I don't know. I think I would just get confused personally, but
Yeah.
maybe it also just increases your overall speed the more you do it. And I do think he even has a 304, it seems like, right? The whole
yeah,
ending
this is a
cutscene is about a
304.
minute, so yeah.
Yeah, that's GG.
Very nice.
Well done.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Caternies, the finisher,
Mhm.
is looking to finish his run.
Damn, I am so outmatched with the dad jokes here.
Oh, there are more coming. Don't you
Yeah.
worry.
For me too, but you know,
Yeah.
challenge accepted.
All right.
Yeah. So I kind of wonder. I guess 12 hours is a very, very, very long time to just play in one stretch. So I'm totally on board with, you know, taking a break after you've just played for more than 3 hours and finished a run. I'm just
Yeah.
curious how long the different people are gonna.
3:04:43.
Yeah, I mean,
Very well done.
very smooth, very.
Taking the early lead.
Yep. And that is so, like, if this wasn't not only for the record but in tournament setting, this is really good right now, because in the time sense, Etiquette and Gym Freak have just spent 3 hours getting their run done. Like, getting another run in that pace and time will take another 3 out of their 24 hours they have. So this is really important.
Yeah, I think these times that we're seeing right now, the 305 and 304s, are just kind of the times that you get. Right, it's like their personal records, but just 2 or 3 minutes slower, which kind of seems to me that they didn't really take that many risks and they just played very stably and didn't run into anything particularly horrible, and then, well, they're just that good that they just finish a run
Yeah.
at 304,
Yeah, it looks like
305.
it looks like they just wanted to get a run in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which makes sense. And now I'm sure that like Etiquette's not going to be interested in finishing another 305 run, right? So the next run
No.
he finishes is going to be a 303 if he manages to finish one.
Yeah.
But then, of course,
there's resets
yeah.
coming.
Exactly. So now it's going to be, yeah, exactly.
It looks like Caternies is on about like a 305, 306 pace.
Cool.
Yeah. I
Just
really wonder.
slightly slower, but still like close in a solid run.
Is that a personal record?
Oh, let me check.
Personal record is 305.59 unless a new record was done
No,
more
it's
recently and the
305,
pay test.
59.
Yeah,
So it
so
could
that's
be a
gonna be.
PB. It's close.
Very
Wouldn't-
cool.
Wouldn't that be cool? You just start the tournament and just almost immediately get a new personal record.
Well, what was the pace again?
Like a 305, 306 pace.
Yeah, so it's gonna be real close.
Because I've just seen his PB is actually 1 second behind Curvis's.
Yeah. Oh, he might flip. He might flip Curvis.
Well, he still has to survive
Yeah.
3 fights.
Oh,
So
yeah.
let's not.
And Kerbis is mostly a Pikachu runner, not an Eevee runner.
Oh, true.
And in Pikachu has a 30306, which is second place on the leaderboard.
Hmm.
That is also very true.
I'm actually opening his personal record video to see what kind of time he has at Bruno.
Yeah. Meanwhile, actually had some trouble getting the Cubone catch up there. I've been trying to follow his rock tunnel. But maybe I should just maximize the screen. The bumbling fool that I am.
Yeah, Caternies seems to be about 20 seconds behind the PB pace. So, unless something.
Oh no, the Onyx! You'd hate to see.
Yeah. I was surprised actually that I saw some Onyx catches. I even saw Etiquette go for Glowing Chansey. I always advocate going for Glowing Chansey, and he always seems to be like, no, it's terrible, it's slow. But I personally believe that it's risky, but it's a good idea if you want to go for a world record. Usually,
It really depends. If your stats or your levels like slightly lower, at least he said he was going for Chansey, and only like in the beginning, and he wouldn't ever go for like a Rock Tunnel Chansey.
Yeah.
can Chansey even spawn in Rock Tunnel? I feel like I've never seen that.
In Rock Tunnel? I don't know. There's one.
I don't think you
But
can
yeah.
spawn there, but I agree that by the time your time with Eevee is almost up, then there's not really a point to get
Yeah,
that much more
it's either
experience.
like a Mount Moon or a Route 6 Chansey. That's the only ones he's willing to catch, and only if he's like slightly behind on level or his stats aren't as good.
Yeah.
Or a mention Chansey after you catch your Starmie. Huh?
Mm.
You know, skip them candies.
I don't know.
That's some real YOLO threats.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we missed the entire Cajanese Agatha fight. It's a lot to take in right now.
Yeah.
But absolutely might have done some Wartap strats, Wartap Satan Ched, whatever that means. Probably means just getting really good at the game.
I think that means that Catanese called Zapdos and used that.
And Etchy is trying to catch the Onyx with a nice catch.
It's the second
This
Onyx
is-
he ran into.
Yeah, this is... oh no. This is a really harsh Rock Tunnel, and I believe he's just trying to go for a time right now.
Yeah, that makes
Because, yeah, if you reset for the earlier ones, this would be a reset for me. And the second nice gets it in the ball.
See, I like catching Chansey, but I'm not so sure about Onyx.
It's not even glowing, I think.
Yeah.
Alright.
Did anyone see Headstrong's Starmie
No.
or Staryu?
I hope we'll see once he teaches some things. Or did he already do?
You know
No,
what?
that's happening in Mansion.
I'm just gonna use technology and go back, and when Twitch catches up a little, I'm gonna see what kind of Starmie, because I'm curious.
We are not cavemen. We have technology.
And JS is showing us amazing Starmie.
Oh.
That thing is just
my.
absurd.
Wow. How do we even get that? I don't understand.
I am hearing that Jordan wants to see JS's mod folder.
I think you get those by... It might be a byproduct of the COVID shot. You know, the microchip and everything.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. Enhanced water gun. Yeah. So Headstrong's Starmie is 1055. So extremely regular. Yeah, that's
Super average.
yeah.
And
wonder
there's
if-
the reset.
Does anyone ever skip, or does anyone ever cancel and look for a new Starmie nowadays, or does
No,
everyone
that's-
just take
that's
what
just-
they can get?
You keep the Starmie that you get. They're all runnable, but some are a lot better than others. And if you just get a bad one, that's just run over. Catching another one just takes too much time.
Yeah. Well,
because,
maybe it's too-
because normally
yeah.
you don't really check stats till you get into the mansion and you're candying.
Well, a strategy that I had was just look at the CP, and then if it was below, I think 1050 was my cutoff, then I would sometimes, well, let's say 2 Starmie spawned, I would just go for the other one then.
Yeah, the problem is just that the CP doesn't really say much. It's a really weird calculation where it just like looks at total stats.
Yeah,
and
but
times your level times 6 and then divided by 100.
yeah, but still, most of Starmie's stats are obviously in special tech and speed. So I guess it would make it much more likely if the CP is higher that it would also have high speed and special tech.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
of course.
Caternies getting through Pidgeot on a pretty good pace too.
Yeah,
No
very nice.
flinches, no crits.
So it seems
Really
that
nice.
after I'm assuming this is gonna be a finished run, then I guess half of the runners already have a time. Yeah. Pretty
Really
cool.
nice, yeah.
I'd expected that to take quite a bit longer.
Yeah, we've been lucky with the resets for most of our
Interestingly,
runners.
interestingly enough, I think there's more Eevee runners having a finished run than Pikachu runners.
Well, that makes sense to me. I do think of Eevee as the more stable game, I suppose.
Yeah, you're not as reliable on the extra catches like the main switches and such.
I just think
right.
Eevee gets through the early game a lot more smoothly than Pika does.
Alright, this will be 4th place, as it seems, yeah.
But will it
still-
be?
But like, it's still insane, as you guys mentioned, how these people just wreck out a 305 time like it's nothing.
I mean, especially if your personal best is 305.59, then it's...
Oh, please don't talk about personal bests because people might research mine.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, if you hit your personal best in pretty much one try, then that's pretty well done, right?
Oh wait, this can still PB, right? Let's see where it stops.
Yeah, is it gonna tie?
Tied. Tied is
It's
PB.
actually tied. Oh my god.
That's gonna be a
Oh.
retime.
That has to be a retime, yeah. Insane. Well done.
I mean, if it's actually both 305.59, then I would say submit this one instead, if that's allowed. Because it's
Yeah.
just so cool that it happened in a tournament, right?
Yeah, and maybe, I don't know what Caternies has coming up, but this may be just a glimpse of what is going to come in the next 2 days, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know how much you've personally done speedruns in your life, but I've always found that sometimes you just make gradual improvements, but sometimes you get really stuck on this one sort of time, and even though you keep improving, just one good run isn't really coming together, and then this kind of thing happens, right? Where you just, in a one try, you tie your PB, and that just kind of means that if that's the case, then just the first run where everything goes kind of well, you're just going to cut 2 or 3 minutes off of your record.
Yeah, and I think this event, some may compare it to the likes of Break the Record Live, and I think this is what actually... Oh no, Kirby's hitting the optional right there. There is a big difference in having all the RNG and Pokemon involved as opposed to a relatively, let's say, consistent run like Super Mario 64, right? And like with Caternies, that really shows. Sometimes you hit that barrier, but you keep improving up to where the RNG lock that you had catches up to the skill you now have, and now you just need to combine those two together.
Yeah, I mean it could be both, right? It could also be because this is a pretty long run. It's just hard to do everything as well as you can for 3 hours in a row. It's just easy to get nervous towards the end, and then maybe some menus are a little bit more sloppy, or you make an actual mistake and click the wrong move, or you hit an optional trainer that you would normally not hit, or all this kind of stuff. So even if it's not RNG, you can totally, I mean, I'm personally super capable of messing things up myself, even if there's no bad RNG to blame. And then, of course, there's the actual RNG, which is definitely a big part of a speedrun like this. But I also tend to believe that as long as you're good enough and then you give it a bunch of tries, then if you're significantly better than your competition, it's just a matter of time before you hit that good run where it becomes more of a matter of not having everything stacked against you all the time rather than having to hit a super lucky run.
I see that etiquette is starting again.
I'm a little bit surprised that Kerbis didn't reset after hitting that optional. That shows to me also that just getting a time on the board is something that is yeah, that's being valued, I guess.
Yeah. I
Or
think,
yeah.
yeah, maybe the next big mistake will be the cutoff, because at this point, with the times being relatively consistent and really good for an event like this, there has to be a cutoff for a time anyway.
Yeah, and I've definitely been a minute ahead, so then you would be equal after hitting an optional, and it would be
And for the people at home, we are joined right now by Caternies, I think. Congratulations on your PB, question mark?
probably.
We can't
Well.
hear Caternies yet.
Yeah, just give us a shout if and when.
Maybe I may have been too fast for them.
I think for Kerbis, he's probably just going to continue to run till like either before Rock Tunnel or like just see how the catches, the spawns,
Yeah.
how that's going, because that can still make or break run. If you're having really good spawns, you can still, even like an optional, you can still get easily into the 305 or even the 304 range.
Yeah, I mean, we've been praising the 304, 305 times, but at the same time, you know, the world record is 302. And that one, while a very good run with some luck, it also had mistakes and some bad luck here and there. So it's not like that one's perfect either. So there's definitely a few minutes of room for bad luck or mistakes. So I guess in that sense, it makes sense not to immediately reset on the first optional.
Yeah. For the people wondering why we're maybe silent right now, it's really hard to concentrate on Headstrong's run because of the stream right below of that. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
It's driving me bonkers right now.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. Yeah, I had some mic problems. Do you think the level is okay?
Yeah, maybe we can boost you just a bit, but
I can boost it from my end too.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah.
I think, is this good?
yeah,
Very
Yeah, perfect.
Great.
Very good.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you. I'm pretty sure I actually just tied my PB, like by the second.
No
Yeah.
lie.
Yeah, because my PB, I mean, I was ahead like half a second or something like that. But my PB is like 305, 59, 90 or something like that. So that was pretty insane. I mashed as good as I could, but couldn't clutch the 1 second PB still. But I'm fairly happy with the run, anyways.
Well, some people were already calling for a retime, so maybe someone's gonna use some technology and look into it, and
Yeah,
maybe it'll turn out to be a 58.
Yeah, actually,
Maybe.
just said that she can retime it. So yeah, I'll just have to upload it. I guess I'll anyways take a break right now. But yeah,
Yeah.
that run was decent. The Starmie was amazing, and actually so was the Eevee. The Eevee was naughty and gained like a ton of attack AVs on top of that. So
That's
it
really
was
nice.
very. I could go pretty much for every attack-related range there was. I did get a very scary min roll on one of the Radicates, but I did then crit after that. It was a 96% range there, but I was actually close to missing it. But I'm glad I didn't.
So I mean, you said the run was decent, but now you're listing all these things why the run was actually kind of amazing. So what happened
Yeah.
that made it only decent?
Well, my execution was very bad at some points, like re-entering menus because I pressed B too early or forgetting to heal and stuff like that, just from being nervous.
Yeah.
And then I also had like the most unlucky Magmar catch. I think it broke out 3 times.
Yeah, that's a minute right there, right?
Yeah, I did have fairly good luck with spawns. Like I did get Krabby and Abra and Meowth, but then I didn't get Spearow or something else important. So yeah, that led to me having to go for Magmar and Ninetales in the end game. And the
So-
Magmar really cost me time.
So how do you feel about breaking that time by more than half a second in in today or tomorrow maybe?
I think the sole reason I haven't PB'd yet is just because I keep my standard for early games pretty high at the moment. My current PB hits an optional in Rock Tunnel and has a ton of breakouts. So I'm feeling like I just wanted to finish a run now, and it kind of humors that it ended up tying my PB. But yeah, I can definitely top this during the event. Like at least something like 305.30, I think I can get definitely. Hopefully even a 304.
I mean, it
Maybe even
sounds
lower.
like- yeah, I was
Maybe even
gonna
lower.
say.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, actually, I was after Moon. I was 15 seconds ahead of Etiquette's world record. But yeah, like that means anything. But yeah, I've been on like 303, 304 pace pretty much every day. I've done runs now, so it's just a matter of time I don't die to champ.
Yeah.
So
The
yeah,
bird, right?
yeah, it's the bird. It's always the bird. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
we
sure
were talking about the bird.
I've died to the bird at least 10 times. I'm pretty sure even more, and all of those runs have been on PB pace.
Yeah.
But
But
I'm-
as for now, your target time will and should be, for the moment at least, Gym Freak's 305.20, and I believe Gym Freak has joined the chat as well. Also, congratulations to that time.
Thank you very much.
Congrats.
Yeah, thank you. Congrats to you too.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Good.
I honestly I couldn't quite catch that, but you going tied to Etiquette so closely was amazing to watch. And it's almost heartbreaking. Just I don't want to bash you or anything right now, but the little mistakes like backing out of the elevator or even not sinking, right? Going
Yeah,
sinkless.
that run was something to say the least. Maybe
Yeah.
the most like mistakes I've ever made in like a single completed run.
Yeah, and even with all that, you were still like a few seconds ahead of Etiquette going into champion even.
Yeah, I mean, I got mostly okay luck. Like some fights were pretty bad, but none of them were like, none of them killed my run somehow. I
Yeah.
had to come up with a lot of like on-the-fly strats in the late game because I forgot to synchronize. Like the lance thing where I used an X defend, I like came up with that like half an hour before I did it.
Yeah, how
And
does
you
that
remembered
feel?
it.
But how does that feel like having to route everything on the spot? Because I mean, every runner-
Stressful, very stressful.
every runner's using like has notes and such, but they're all for the modest Starmies.
Yeah, I like because I had looked at so many rangers over like the past like week to see like if I could make any routing improvements. I like was kind of familiar with what might not die.
Yeah, and your Starmie still was like pretty good stats.
Yeah, the speed was really good and the special attack was like okay. Like if I got like neutral and like really low special attack IV, it would have just been a dead run like instantly.
Yeah, it seemed you were hitting more ranges than Etiquette was with his modest Starmie.
Yeah, to be fair, I like made sure I was like guaranteed to hit things. Like for example, I used an extra candy so that I could be level 50 for Nidoking, because that thing would not have died at 49 with my special attack.
Yeah, and that gave you the earlier turnarounds.
Yes, that gave me a turnaround. I basically just accepted that I was gonna get Bruno turnarounds as soon as I saw my special attack.
I mean, I think normally if you would have if you would have tried for the world record, then you might have just reset after realizing the mistake of
Oh,
not setting
yeah.
nature and not getting a modest Starmie, right?
I mean, I might have even reset at the end of Rock Tunnel because I already was like pretty tight on catches, and then like Zubat just didn't exist in my tunnel for some reason. So it was already like pretty. I got pretty lucky with spawns though in catches. Like, I don't know if the stream went down because I heard it went down like around when this happened, but I caught an Eevee in the first ball, which is like insanely low catch rate.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't see that. That was indeed when the stream went out for a bit.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Well, I gotta say, it's really cool to see someone get a run that's only about 2 minutes slower than their personal record, where this whole host of things went, well, either wrong or differently, or I don't know. I guess I just appreciate the improvisation skills.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
really wanted to finish the run because what I was scared of for this event is that I was gonna go the entire day and not finish a run,
Yeah.
and so I just tried really hard to finish this run.
Yeah, that will put so much pressure on you for day 2.
Yeah,
What are,
now. Oops, sorry, go ahead.
what are your plans for your runs now? Are you like resetting early, or like what's your target?
Definitely a little more aggressively. I'll probably just, if I can still reasonably PB, then I won't reset. That's probably what I'm gonna do. My PB's late game is like not that good, so I know even if I'm behind PB, like mid game, I know I can bring it back.
So I have an even more important follow-up question there.
Yes.
Are you now going to unironically skip setting the nature?
No, no, that will never happen.
Dang.
I think there's like, if you knew that you were gonna get perfect IVs on your Staryu, maybe you could do timid, because having like insanely high speed like saves like 2 turns over the run. But like, you can't rely on that.
Well, any plus special attack nature that doesn't decrease speed or special attack would be alright, right? So,
Yeah, I guess you could do mild or what's the other one? Rash. But you just be taking more damage from things and you might have to heal extra times.
oh yeah, of course. I'm just, someday it might be worth saving the 20 seconds or whatever it is, but not quite yet.
No, we're not. Maybe if we were doing like sub 3 attempts, then even then probably not.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of things you can risk before doing something like that, for sure. That just sounds crazy. What is it, a 3 out of 25? Hour and a half in or something? Just
Yeah.
bizarre. I personally hope if I ever want to run this again that it never gets to that point, because then I'm definitely out.
I hope not either.
I don't think anyone really wants to run that type of. Just so reset heavy.
Yeah. Well, hey, I mean, once again, congratulations, and color me impressed with the very, very reasonable time with all this stuff going on.
Thank you very much.
Definitely. So, one last question for you, maybe.
Mhm.
What is your goal time now to hit? Like,
My
you could
goal.
assume that you can just go below Etiquette's time of 3:05:17 right now for the pot, or do you want to really push it now?
I think I am basically just gonna do PB attempts now.
Let me just quickly
I-
research your PB.
My Pikachu PB is 30320. That sounds right.
Yeah, and the Eevee is 302.52. So in the same 30-second ball pit. All right.
Yeah.
Amazing run again. Thanks for joining, Voice. And I hope to see and hear you a lot more with more good times.
Thank you very much.
Good luck with your runs.
Thank you.
Good luck. All right. Meanwhile, we have Headstrong going into Silphco, fighting Blue, and Kirby's almost in Rock Tunnel etiquette just before the Rock.
And everyone else is rightfully taking a break, I guess.
Yeah.
So maybe this is kind of a little bit of a lull in the action overall, because well, only really Headstrong's run is sort of in an interesting spot, right?
I mean, I always love to see Rock Tunnel.
Right. Yeah. I guess Kirby's run is also. I guess this upcoming fight though is really one of the big run killers, right?
Yeah, it's Archer.
Yeah. And it's not even that it's necessarily extremely risky, it's just every turn of delay that happens because it's a double fight and there's so many graphics going on and the Switch is not the fastest machine on the planet. Every turn takes about half a minute or something, and so extra turns really add up extremely quickly. I mean,
Yeah.
And if only your rifle would help in the fight.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, you often get frustrated if you hit a bunch of random Pokemon that spawn right on top of you, right? If you're walking through Mount Moon or Rock Tunnel or something. But yeah, you do 3 or 4 of those, and that's still less time than if you have a five turn Archer fight here compared to a perfect 3-turn.
And Electrode is still scary here, right? Like,
Yeah.
it can kill you. And there's,
And no protect, that's very good.
yeah.
Well, so
This
this
fight's more dangerous, but this one
Yeah.
can be a run kill for sure.
so
Yeah,
this
now you're in the heal loop.
this is the problem with Electrode Thunderbolting you. It's not necessarily that you're gonna die right away. It's just that now that Redicate's also out, it can use Sucker Punch and then combined with Thunderbolt. You're just not gonna live through that. So you just have to. Oh,
Yeah.
very
Self-destruct
electro.
plus 2 Boomerangs will do the trick right there.
This is a good Archer fight.
Yeah, so this is going to be, unless Weezing protects here, it's going to be a 4-turn fight. Which is,
And
I have to imagine, that's extremely rare after getting Thunderbolt on turn 1.
yeah. And right now, one good thing about this fight though is that the Cubone actually does kind of work against most of Archer's Pokemon as well, because if you don't know, abilities are not in this game. So Levitate on Weezing is not a thing in this fight.
Yeah.
So at least that's the only positive thing I can think about with this fight.
Well, so let me tell you about one of my secret strategies. Well, not so secret, I guess, but something I came up with a while ago, and I've been thinking about whether it's worth it or not. And I think I talked to other people about it, but I don't exactly remember who I talked to about this, but I guess I learned this from All Obtainable Pokemon, that if you go right after you get the TM for Surf, or what do you call it, whatever, the Surf ability,
Yeah.
Skim.
Yeah, C-Skim. If you then go right, you know, to the area where there's either Scyther or Pinsir, depending on your version, and then go all the way to the right, cut the bush, and go back, there's the TM for the actual move Surf. And then this Archer fight becomes, for example, becomes a 3-turn fight much more consistently, because you can just use special attack on turn 1, and then hopefully full torpedoes explosion, and then you just surf, and then in 2 moves everything dies, and you even kill off the stupid Cubone, so you don't have to wait for all that animation stuff. So I guess the thing that is the question, and for example this fight that Headstrong is in now would also just go from a 2-turn to a 1-turn. So I guess the question then is, like, is that 45 seconds or something that it takes to pick up Surf? You know, can you make it up with that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
And I kind
Good
of
idea.
tend to think so, maybe. At least it would make it a lot more stable, right?
It sounds worth it. It'll definitely be worth the retime, right?
I think it's too slow.
Yeah, so here's so what I also thought about pairing it with, and now the strat gets really crazy, but this is where maybe if the stars align, and this is not something you want to do because it's super risky, but maybe you just grab Surf and then catch your Starmie and then save some room so you can catch a few Pokemon after, and then you can skip teaching Hydro Pump entirely and use Surf instead. And then you use your rare candies a bit later so that you have a slightly higher level Starmie so that you can use Surf instead of Hydro Pump and stuff. And then you can save some more turns here and there. Maybe if you're level 53 or something by the 8th gym, you can skip the special attack, all that kind of stuff. So I think there might be something there with getting Surf. But yeah, there's this part where Double Archer and the Jesse and James fight are just straight up faster or more consistent. But then there's other parts where maybe to make it faster you'll have to go way less consistent.
And also, I mean, if you can be that much, I mean, you're getting the turnarounds even earlier.
Maybe. So I did try this out once, and I got turnarounds at Bruno. So I guess the question is, do you get... because when I looked the thing up about friendship, it said that if you use rare candies above a certain threshold, then it would actually give you less friendship per rare candy. So if that's the case, then if you use all the rare candies later, then maybe maybe it actually kind of works out, but yeah. But if not, then that would be another 10 seconds or so, right? That you would have to take into account as time lost and use that to see if the whole thing is worth it. But hey, I mean, I looked up some ranges. If you're level, you know, most of the strategy has been focused on how much can we sort of skimp on Starmie, right? Like, can we get away with 1 less candy? But if you actually go the other way and see like how high of a level can I get it, then you can just what's her name, the trainer with the Kangaskhan?
I don't know.
Naomi?
In Victory, yeah, Naomi. You can just one controller that, and you know, just have Psychic or Surf always kill it. So
I mean, it is
stuff
interesting.
like this.
I know Etiquette talked a lot about it, and he's noticing that in his runs where, like, mostly the early game, but where he has a lot of EXP and a lot of levels on his Eevee, his runs just go a lot better, and he gets a lot further, and he's actually like prioritizing levels a lot more these days because of that.
Well, and there's multiple reasons, right? Because one reason for sure is that you kind of have to get a bunch of levels on your Eevee anyway. So
Yeah,
you
it's
might
just
as well get
time
them sooner.
just time saved for later.
Yeah, and maybe sometimes, you know, you can hit a range that you might otherwise not have hit. But then there's also the thing where, yeah, I mean, if you level up in battle, that just takes a whole lot longer than after a catch. So, I don't know, if you, let's say you're exiting Mount Moon at level 15, then you're gonna do 2 or 3 levels up in battle, and then maybe if you're already level 18 or something because you caught a glowing Chansey, then maybe you only level up once in battle.
Yeah, it could even be like. I'm not sure if I don't recall if the previous runners or the previous commentators talked about it, but for the catches you sometimes see glowing Pokemon, and that means they're either very big or very small, and they give a bonus EXP catch, a bonus EXP multiplier. And it seems like about 10% of the time you could get a super large or super small catch.
Yeah.
And those give 4 times as much, or 4.5 times as much EXP. And so with like something like a Clefairy that's like super small or super large, you can easily get a lot of EXP.
Yeah.
Yeah, that or Chansey. If
Or
someone is
Clefable.
daring to try that.
Well, I think, I mean, I personally believe that the Chansey or Clefable in Mount Moon, totally worth it. Almost always go for it. Because it's just, it is a risk, but, you know, it's, for this run, it's kind of early, so just...
Yeah,
I
especially
do
in
expect
an
more,
event like this.
I do expect more runners that now have a time for going for it.
I mean, Etiquette went for the glowing Chansey in his run, right?
Yeah, but he kinda had to, I believe, because he was... his stats weren't good enough.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Well, let me tell you even crazier. Is something even crazier about stats, and then or about levels, I suppose. So let's say you're running Pikachu, and you hit this glowing Chansey in Mount Moon, and you get like a super high level. If you can somehow get it so that you have a really high level, then you can actually be level 21 by Starmie and just one-shot it with Thunderbolt. And you go up the Nugget Bridge first because you don't even have to teach Zippy that. Yeah. You don't even have to teach that move, and you just headbutt and Thundershock everything, and then if you're level 18 or 20, then that just works out.
You could also do that with Eevee. In one of my practice runs in preparation for this event, I think I left Mount Moon at like level 20 or something.
Yeah.
And I did one hit Starmie because I had a lot of special attack on my Eevee.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think you also should not shop in Pewter. So, I'm guessing you did have the plus special attack for
Yeah, I did have a
the one shot, but
an extra special attack.
so in Pika with Thunderbolt, you just one shot it without the special attack item. So that's, yeah, save a turn there, all that kind of stuff. But obviously, I can totally see how we're not at the point yet where you wanna basically reset to get out of Mount Moon at level, what is it? Well, whatever, like level 19 or 20. Because
Yeah, there's still enough time to optimize in other areas.
Exactly.
Like Etiquette himself said, he's like his world record run, the fastest time so far that's been set in Eevee. It's a good run, but there's like a lot of room for improvements. A lot of other runners have been having are like a minute faster, leaving like SSN or something with a similar catch count.
Yeah.
And this is why we have this event, right? To potentially force someone to get there.
The problem
like
with
a-
his run
a
is
better
that the problem with his run is that his Eevee worked like a Kadabra and just massacred everything.
He hit his ranges. Like there's some in Eevee there's some like very difficult ranges to hit if you have a very high amount of special attack.
Yeah.
And that is
like-
really lucky for Kirby, just jumping into the right Dawn that he needed.
Rhyhorn, yeah.
Rhyhorn, yes, of course.
He's gonna
My
ride
head
on his
and-
Rhyhorn.
if I can tell you guys a secret, I still don't know most English names. I still pronounce them or do the German ones. So I am actually not that good in Pokemon names.
So you know Pikachu?
Is it that yellow one?
Yeah, it's that
No,
ugly mouse.
that would be the same name, so I guess.
Okay.
Oh, I would have thought it would be Das Maus in German, but I guess. No?
Electro mouse.
Not bad, not bad. Yeah, but I think Kerbis is missing a Zubat right now, if I'm not mistaken. I know that he has in Rock Tunnel, he has a Machop, he has a Cubone. He does have the Rhyhorn right now. And I think he has the Graveler? Nope, I did not forget that one.
His catch count is pretty good, like 32 in Rock Tunnel. That's basically what you attempt to have leaving Rock Tunnel. So he's probably fine with leaving without Zubat.
It seems like everyone's pretty much starting back up again, by the way. So that's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's nice to see Gym Freak did 2 resets already, Saiyan just started. And now Edgy's starting as well.
I'm actually gonna see just how good this run that Headstrong is stringing together is, like what kind of pace it is. Because now that the catch count is at 50, we can actually start comparing.
Yeah, and since we're ending the parts that are really exciting, this might be a good time for you guys. It's early game. Go and grab a glass of water. It is hot outside, it is hot inside. Go hydrate. Just a safety PSA.
Yeah,
That's
remember
always
to hydrate.
Yeah, always a good plan.
Actually, over here we're having a nice
Yeah,
cooler
it's a lot,
day in the
it's a lot
Netherlands.
cooler today, it's great.
Bunch of storms, lower temperatures. So
I'm looking at Headstrong space, and that seems to be like a high 305, 306 piece.
Yeah. Oh, there's the minimize. That is troublesome. Oh no, a second miss, I think, on a Psychic.
oh, and a special tech drop. Dang.
And
Okay.
there's
doesn't have
the...
to be
Oh no.
This
Oh
peop-
no, this is...
So people, this is why Koga's gym sucks. It
Yeah.
can go like this, and nothing you can do about it.
Well,
It's
as
not
I
the
talked about
only reason.
earlier.
Well,
Well,
swap in Rapidash and Stomp.
Oh no, don't scald because special tech dropped. Oh, well.
Yeah, this was
And
the
another
Hyper Pump.
Protect.
This fight
Yeah.
will take longer than the Koga fight itself.
Yeah.
At this rate, yes.
Yeah, the pace is actually very, very, very mediocre after this fight, I would say. That's very unlucky. Yeah, I'm looking at Etiquette's world record, and it finished Koga at 2:29.05. So it's already, with Koga still left to fight, already 6 minutes behind that pace. So it's looking more like, I want to say 3:09 at this point.
But probably
But
still
maybe-
also just wants to finish a run.
Yeah, I mean, if you're 2.5 hours in, you might as well do the last 40 minutes, right? Or 45 minutes.
It looks like Kerbis did found a Zubat after all.
Cool. So I'm curious, did everybody check natures as soon as they got their Eevee or Pikachu?
I think most people have done so far.
Eevee runners will do so. I think Pikachu runners mostly wait till like they can see
Yeah.
the fight earlier because they level up the fight earlier.
Also, Pikachu has more runnable natures, as far as I'm aware. So, it's not that bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for Eevee you reset everything that has a negative attack, special attack, or speed. And Eevee can, because it's such a fast Pokemon and with the Zap being high priority, you don't really need the speed. so you can run negative speed nature.
I think
Yeah,
you meant to
I
say
think
Pikachu. Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Pikachu, yeah.
I think you actually want negative speed on Pikachu. 'Cause it's just still enough
Yeah,
speed.
It's like the stat
Yeah.
you need the least.
I think there's outlier cases where you can take a Brave Eevee if it's amazing, but it's certainly not good.
Yeah, there's like, and also you look at the AVs, the awakened values, and see like,
Yeah.
Well, so I'm personally of the I think the Pikachu version is probably a bit faster but less stable than Eevee, but part of that would be that you would have to reset for probably a plus attack Pikachu, and then the amount of runnable natures is very much back into the favor of Eevee. On the other hand, though, you might argue that you kind of want a special attack Eevee because then you can do what Etiquette did in Hideout and just save all kinds of turns.
yeah, but even then, I mean, you actually need quite a lot of AVs next to a plus special attack nature to
Yeah,
actually hit
or-
those ranges.
Or just a glowing Chansey at some point.
Yeah, or a very high level.
Yeah.
Get to like level 33, and then everything is a lot easier.
That would be great. Just one hit KO everything. You know, I did some calculations actually that you can one hit KO Jesse and James's Arbok with double edge and plus attack. So that's and then +4 on the Wheezing. So that could work too.
Personally, I really don't like the double edge threats.
Yeah, it's you might die.
I know they're like optimally they're faster, but it's like not that much faster, and it's way more riskier. Like crits becoming actively very dangerous.
Yeah. So let's see. So it seems that actually, let me see what kind of level Etiquette has here on his Eevee. I haven't been paying very much attention to all these different runs, but just level 15, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just level 15.
Yeah.
But 15 catches is very nice.
Yeah, this is pretty much the exact same pace as his own world record so far. Of course, it's still very early. I guess the world record has a level or two on this run, but it shouldn't necessarily have to matter.
I think there's a good ruling. You don't talk about good times in this game before Rock Tunnel and in other games after Surge.
Well, I would say you don't get attached to them, but it's still interesting to see if you can be a full minute faster or a few levels higher or have like one or two more Pokemon and get the same time or something like this.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's
It's really nice of people in chat or keeping track of questions asked because we haven't really been doing that.
I've
Thanks,
been reading
man.
I've been reading through chat, but there wasn't any real questions yet, specifically about a run or.
Yeah.
I am hoping that we get to the point where we're going to name one of the runs and get so attached to it.
Yeah, it would be amazing to actually have a great pace again. But right now,
let's get attached to one right now. Actually,
let's take Etchy's run right now. No, let's just get attached to Etchy's run before he picks up the Eevee.
It's
I'm
Steve.
ready.
His run is Steve.
Okay. Can we get attached to two different runs at the same time? Because I kind of.
Let's wait how Etchy turns out, or how Steve turns out.
Can we name Jim Freak's run and use a female name, and then we have a boy and a girl run to to sweat because I'm kind of feeling Gym Freak
Aw,
run right now.
Steve is
Alright.
dead.
Steve died.
Then,
Okay.
then Brenda will carry us to a PB.
Miranda. Okay.
Brenda
I was
will
gonna
do
go
it.
with Annie, but yeah, that's fine.
Should
No,
have
it-
called it earlier.
Yeah. No,
I mean,
but Miranda
we
now.
can do Annie. Annie's good.
No. We'll have Annie for another one, and then we'll have
Yeah,
the
but,
AV
like-
thing. Yeah.
I see
Right,
Purvis
right.
setting nature. Doing synchronize, always a good strat.
We'll see if Gym Freak remembers to do this in about an hour and 10 minutes.
I'm amazed that no one has mismenued there so far.
Oh,
I
I'm
don't-
always so worried that I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
I always forget it. Which one is it first? Red
Blue,
or
red.
blue? Yeah, but
I just take third from top, first top.
Yeah, so I
blue
actually-
is bad.
So I actually ran Dodrio for a while, and then the nature is the exact opposite, because obviously you want plus attack minus special attack. So
For power
if you
burst.
really want to mess yourself up, then alternate between those runs.
Yeah, that sounds like something. And I don't know, maybe we have some new people watching, and I don't know how much our previous commentators talked about things. We have right now Gym Freak is in the forest, and you may be wondering why they didn't catch anything yet before they used the lure. And that is because lured Pokemon spawn with a higher level and therefore give more XP, which is needed to get a reliable Brock fight.
And not only that, they'll have fewer levels that they need to level up before evolving, so it saves time in multiple ways.
Yeah, for example, in the forest, normally only Pokemon between, I think, level 2 and level 6 spawn. And if you use a lure, everything that spawns is a level 7.
Yeah, it's
And that
max
can just
level
make-
plus
make-
1.
Yeah, that can make a huge difference. And also,
Yeah.
more Pokemon will spawn, so...
And I mean, while we're on the early game, can I just talk about how ridiculous Brock's leader gym requirements are? You need a grass Pokemon or a water Pokemon to enter the gym. There's no water Pokemon available there, and they
just
completely
trade.
neglect the weaknesses of the rock type. That would be steel, ground, and rock, which incidentally, ground would actually be available, I believe, with Nidoran. Or is Nidorino not
No.
ground type? I'm not sure.
No.
You need Nidoking.
Oh, then I'm quite.
But you can have double kick.
Yeah, but it's still like the gym requirement. I mean, it
Yeah.
cares for type. But I mean, you can trade with your friend for water Pokemon. It's not allowed during the speedrun event, but if you
Oh,
want to
that's
play
true.
at home, and I mean, it's a lot of fun. Like,
And look, I mean, you can beat Brock with anything, of course. I think it's more just a thing for new players to
Yeah,
get
to
familiar with type advantages.
yeah, it
Basically.
guides them in the correct
Yeah.
direction.
Yeah, maybe. I always wondered if maybe there were Pokemon meant to be available before Brock, and they changed something quite late.
I think it's just a new person guide type thing, to be honest.
Sadly, we lost Headstrong's run.
Yeah,
Do
it seems
you
like
find
that
it
was. Yeah, but you're almost relieved when you have a run like that going, right? I mean, I don't want to speak for someone else, but when you're already a bunch of minutes behind pace, and then you have a Koga gym like that, it to me it feels kind of like, oh, just put me out of my misery already.
Yeah,
I kind
I
of want
can-
to
I
finish
can
the
feel that.
run, but it's not like a great run was destroyed by this Giovanni trait.
so I guess we're getting attached to Purvis's run now. Oh, Gym Freak is
No, we-
actually trying to catch Bulbasaur.
We
Cool.
still have Gym Freaks any run.
Yeah, I mean, Annie can actually be a boy or a girl.
Could be anything.
Of course, yeah, short for
Yeah.
Anakin. And I mean, if you're already resorting to catching Bulbasaur, I have to ask, Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie?
Annie, are you okay? I'm actually just gonna look up what kind of pace Kerbis is setting here.
Yeah, Etiquette, again, I think going almost without a reset so far.
Yeah.
Being very consistent.
I mean, he might have reset nature
Yeah, of course.
once or twice. I don't really remember, but
Oh, he went up to Route 25 to catch something. Let's hope nobody hits the spinner here, or he doesn't even go for the item down there.
yeah. I mean, I learned from watching him that you actually run out of vision if you go up far enough to the north. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a few interesting trainer skips in this game that we haven't really seen or talked about too much, I believe.
Yeah.
Because, well, we haven't seen them as much. Like, my absolute favorite is the one before, I think Vermilion is in town, with a double battle, or what
Yeah.
could be a double battle. You can just walk right through it.
Yeah.
Always
That
puts
is-
me
Yeah.
in an emotional state of distress, but it's amazing if you pull it off twice in a row.
It looks like Curves is on a really good pace so far.
Yeah. So
He's about a minute behind Dedicate's world record.
Yeah,
With one
this
catch
is-
less.
this is the part where the world record is really, really good, though, right?
Yeah, everyone's gonna lose time to the world record.
Yeah.
Underground.
So for context, Etiquette's world record has... Actually, let me look that up a bit better. Has 36 caught at Giovanni with a time of 1:36.04, it seems. So that's pretty
That
fast.
is pretty good, yeah. I think... What is Kerbis missing? You know he's, I think, missing a Zubat, which means he's missing Golbat.
If he's really lucky, he can still run into a Zubat in Lavender Tower.
Yeah.
Hey, this is another advantage of the surf strats. There's a bunch more. You can get like a Venonat, which evolves into a Venomoth in one level on that route, you know?
I mean, that is the beauty of speedrunning, right? There's always change.
Yeah.
No run... Like, if we maybe look back in a year, all of these run strats may be outdated.
I mean,
And we'll
probably
have
not
to
all, but
put-
yeah.
Yeah,
It looks
but
like
maybe.
Curves stream froze.
Yeah.
Yeah, also on his own Twitch. So.
But yeah, this is the thing that people always
back.
say about this
No, this
particular.
Ah, alright.
It's why people like this specific game a lot, right?
Yeah, there's so many like on-the-spot routing.
Exactly. There's and I don't necessarily think one's better than the other, but some people just like the very stable, very predictable thing and have it all about execution. And then there's other people, and I would count myself in this category, who like the little twist of randomness that you have to deal with every run.
Yeah, it's a lot of improvisation.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
every run is different. Every run you have like different catches, different EXP, different stats with AVs or just nature. Especially like in the well, early to mid game. I mean, after the star unit and the star me gets like a bit more like run of the mill. That are just like ranges that more known ranges.
Oh, Kerbis is back and he does have a Golbat. So
Cool.
he must have actually caught one that I didn't
Yeah,
see.
no, he caught a Zubat.
Alright. I might have missed it. But yeah, so far almost everyone is starting back up except for Headstrong right now. and of course,
Yeah, Edgy's done for the day, I believe, or at least
Yeah.
for now.
yeah, I think Etchy had some commitments or something that prevent him from playing more right now. And I love this part of the game that is coming up for etiquette too. There's actually a fun mechanic, or there was switch right now, where Eevee wiggles his tail in the proximity of a hidden item.
Yeah, both the partner Pokemon, the Eevee and the Pikachu, they're like item finders. But you don't actually have to use an item. They're just like either on your head or on your shoulder, and their tail starts moving, it's like waggling when they're near an item.
Yeah,
It's a really
and
cool concept.
it really is,
Adds a lot of like more to this game.
especially if you always forget where the nugget or anything in there is.
Yeah, so that underground part is a little bit confusing because one of the items in the middle is always a nugget, which is the item you want, right?
Yeah.
And then on the left you can pick up 2 more items, and they're in a bit of a...
Yeah, the first one is like a more money item, and it's like either a nugget or a pearl or those kinds of items.
The second one can be a nugget or a pearl too.
But I think like the odds of or something is like a lot higher for
really?
it to be something like a more trash item.
Huh.
Yeah.
Like a bouquet of flowers or those kinds of.
I never knew that, so it would be a good idea to pick up the first one and not the second one if you want to pick up anything.
Yeah, I believe for like the more like the AOP runs where they actually need a lot more money.
Yeah.
I mean, in this has all been routed out that you really like get optimum money, and otherwise you pick up like a PP up earlier. That's always there. You want consistency for that. But like for an AOP run, they actually set the clock. Instead of like getting a second moonstone, you set the clock to respawn the items in the underground, because underground items also respawn when the clock ticks over. And well, they give like extra money from that.
Interesting. Etiquette right now has a fun catching experience. He has caught a Abra evolved into a Kadabra and has caught a glowing Psyduck, which means, if you don't know, you can catch Psyduck later on what used to be the Bike Road.
Route 17.
Yeah, Route 17, and you can evolve that one into a Golduck. But right now because he doesn't skip the Psyduck on this route, which you can also do with a Pidgeotto, he'll be, I think, at a bit more experience than he usually would be, assuming that he will get a Vulpix and the Jigglypuff here.
Yeah, you often just catch the Psyduck here because it's like a known poke, just one extra, and it gives some extra EXP, which is nice for the rival fight coming up. Just help like with your ranges or whatever, depending on your stats, and even with like the fights coming up after that.
So here's a crazy thought. We have this Kadabra now, right? Which is only 1 level lower than our Eevee. And Kadabra has the medium slow experience curve, but that's actually faster than the fast experience curve that Eevee has. So why don't we just keep it in our party and then use it in hideout?
I mean, you do lose a lot of time on like just like the leveling up and moves.
Sure, but didn't we already decide kind of that it would be worth resetting the area a bunch to catch a level 27 or 28 Abra by the time you actually get there?
I mean, that used to be a strat at a point, but
yeah,
I think they just. I mean, if you actually like, I think they timed it. If you had to reset the road the second time, it was already slower.
Right.
So,
yeah.
and I think like just like actually like the extra levels and the moves, that's even slower than resetting a route that many times.
But what if you can also save a turn with the Machop and Rhyhorn fight in Rock Tunnel?
I mean, then you have to swap, or you're going to controller for those fights.
No, just swap in some menu somewhere before while you deposit or something.
What might happen though is that Etiquette will use the Kadabra for a 2-player fight in Rival 3.
Yeah, I mean
Coming up.
yeah, exactly. You're gonna keep it around at least until the end of Route 9, right? Because he's
I believe
probably
so.
he's also gonna use it for the Central, I would imagine. Oh wait, this is Eevee. Never mind.
Yeah, I think he's just going to deposit before the first fight
Yeah.
in Red 9.
Well,
Yeah,
if he was
maybe
playing the
Eevee.
Pikachu version, I think he should keep the Kadabra, but maybe an Eevee version, not so much.
Yeah, for Pikachu, that's a different story.
Because you're keeping it all the way up to the Central already anyway, right? So, yeah.
Kerberos had a double heal pad. And that's a fun mechanic in this game where, like the heal pad, and if you don't walk on it on a cardinal direction line, like not straight at it, but you are on the diagonal, it can like move you. If you take another step, it can check again and see, oh, you just entered the heal pad, and then it will give you an extra heal pad animation, and it just loses some time. You get healed an extra time, but like getting healed a second time, 2 seconds after the first time, that's not really needed.
However, the spinners afterwards just all moved out of the way perfectly to compensate, so that was alright.
Yeah. Maybe we can get a KKK in chat in honor of Jennifer. And of course for KKK Kerbis.
Jennifer is one of the haunted trainers.
Yeah, she's the channeler. I think her dialogue is actually just KKKKKK.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you know, I was shouting hydrate before, but I'm actually out of water, so I'm also gonna have to go and hydrate.
Well,
Yeah,
go ahead. I'm all watered up. I'll just keep everyone entertained.
sure.
You do that. Yeah, I mean, you gotta lead by example, right? So I'm just gonna make sure that I have
Yeah.
plenty of water.
I'm gonna stay until Rival 3 is over for Etiquette, and then go for one of myself.
Okay.
Alright.
Well, then we'll see you all in a bit. We're taking a short break, and we'll keep track of how the runs are going, but afterwards we'll keep you up to date. See you soon.